See, division takes place, like I was trying to speak on in the other one before my shit just cut off on me. Division takes place because energies and frequencies are not going in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going the opposite direction. And to bring forth any manifestation, the friction has to take place. It has to create the heat, which sparks the fire, and the fire, which gives off more heat, or carbon, which is the physical manifestation of after the process of the fire taking place. So that's how you get the residue. You know, everything in life is carbon based, you know what I'm saying? So it came off of the fire attribute, you know what I'm saying? The fire attribute was formulated off of the heat, which brought forth manifestation. You see what I'm saying? Like, so gotta understand what this shit really means when these things are, when you think you got more control over your life. See, you're supposed to be dealing in balance. Your balance is going to be the equal amount of energies displaced in the right situations within different dimensions, which will rub across one another, which will create the heat, which will bring forth the fire, which will bring forth the carbon, which bring forth you a higher level of life, depending on the things that you're using to run across each other within this existence. This is why you need a healthy balance in everything in life, because you're crossing frequencies. See, this is why the NAGA was so important, because the ideal of the frequencies they were able to tie together to bring forth new frictions, which would have created new existences, new dimensions, new understandings, because they understood that every vibration was creating a new level of fire. This is why fire component was so reputable as an element, because of how the fire always ended up showing up within a level of creation. So just knowing the manifestation was fire that brought forth the carbon, the soot, the smoke. The smoke falls back down into dust, you know what I'm saying, which things grow from, the carbon base, you know what I'm saying? So understanding that, you know, there's so many different layers of fire through creation that allows so many things to be created on the dimension or the vibration which one lives. So this is why it's imperative for us to go inside, because we stay outside. We stay outside. Look at that. Look at the value of even down to the slang term. Yo, come outside. You stay outside. All your momentary value and the understanding of how you think and how you move through existence is literally showing you that all your senses are attached to outside of you, by the way you describe life, by the way you deal with life, by the way life hurts you, by the way you move through it and the things you need to obtain. Everything shows you that you are dealt with an outside premise. By default, you can look at yourself and say, damn, that's all I do is think outside. They even told you to think outside the box, because thinking outside the box will bring you to the outside premise. It will bring you to more into worldly actions. There's nothing wrong with that, depending on where you're trying to go in life. You got to use balance. It's going to always be about balance. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to always be about balance. And once you start understanding how the friction plays a part and how these things manifest within its own right to bring forth the first level, which is the carbon base, that's how things are built off of it. That's how the actual idea of a creation comes into fruition. It has to have a carbon base. So your carbon base, meaning from the heat that you was able to bring forth from friction, meaning you got the idea, you put it in the right place. So those two frequencies are now running across each other. So it's starting to develop the heat. So now you got to bring forth the fire by making them run across each other even faster, by putting more understandings and verbal communications and connecting them to like-minded energies that want to carry those vibrations. So then those vibrations start to double, triple, quintuple. And when the same vibrations within the idea is starting to run across one thing, you start to create a friction, a heat, which then bring forth the fire to create the carbon that allows the idea to become into fruition. See, this is why right now it's imperative for people to look towards what they really want for themselves and who they are, you know what I'm saying, and understanding the indifference in between outside motivations and inside reconciliations. Because you have to reconcile with your inside self. It's going to be a lot of oh mans, and you're going to cry, you're going to hug yourself and all that, because you know what, you don't build with yourself. You don't have a conversation with you. There's no connection with you. Everything you do is outside of you. So ultimately, that's where all your problems and all your answers are going to lie. And when you need to go inside, it's going to be the hardest thing for you ever to do or accomplish. I ain't talking nothing. I'm just talking to you. I don't know nothing. I just know something. Look, man, for the most part, every new creation, every new vibration, every new dimension is going to come off all the different aspects of how many seedlings in each individual that gets a chance to understand that everything that they're dealing with is dualic. And you become that concentrated energy in between your duality. You got to become the concentrated energy inside your duality. You already physical with two hemispheres that's running left and right. You have to concentrate that in the center of you. And when you concentrate your energies that are going left and right and you pull them into the center of you, you start to create a higher burning fire of the level of control that you've mastered over the existence of the feeling simultaneous that your left and your right hemisphere are dealing with, what they're dealing with. And then you start to show a mastery over the way you perceive life. You don't master life by how you treat people. You master life by how you move through it on both hemispheres of your one self. That's how you create your first level of your universe, showing that it can be controlled and it's a humble energy, that it can be mastered, showing that it can be happy and it can be loved through the understanding of what you displace from the outside connection to your perception. And once you can do that, then you start to show one how your world is livable.